Hey, Lee Robinson here at American Sentinel K9. Thank you for tuning in. The purpose of this video is to discuss our breeding goals and to help you navigate our website so that you can find out if we are the right program for you. I do not like it when I get unsolicited phone calls from people trying to sell me a product that I have no interest in. So hopefully this video will tell you a little bit about our breeding program, and it will prevent me from coming off as a salesman, because that's the last thing I want to do. Not every breeder, unfortunately, is honest. A lot of people will tell you that they have the dog that you're looking for, and they don't even always listen to what you're looking for, much less actually have that. So in your pursuit of finding the right dog, I think it's better off for you to ask the breeder, what are their goals? What are their breeding goals in terms of what are they striving to produce? And then you hear what they say, and then you decide if that's the right dog for you. That's what I like to do, because the last thing I want to do is have a client with a dog from our program that isn't the right match. I want that match to work out great, so it works out great for you, it works out great for me, but most importantly, the dog is in the right place and is capable of living a happy life. So that's number one. Now, we breed both the American Pitbull Terrier, and we also breed the American Sentinel K9, which is a type of bandog. These two programs are combined and different at the same time, and I'll explain what I mean by that. This video is also to help you navigate through our website, and you'll find the links above, whether you're on a cell phone or a computer, that will show you what breedings that we currently have available, what puppies that are born yet, and if so or not, if they've already been spoken for, what positions are available, and how much the prices are. So I would check out the website, see what breedings we have, see what's already been spoken for, see what's available, and look at the pricing. And I would recommend that you do that before you contact me. However, if you contact me and you have questions, we will be glad to answer your questions. I think you should find out what a breeder is trying to produce, and by me dropping this video online, you will be able to see what it is I'm trying to produce, instead of thinking, well, is he just giving me a line? Because now my statements are the same for everybody. What we are trying to produce in our game-bred American Pitbull Terrier is true to the breed's history. I want a very high drive game-bred American Pitbull Terrier with solid prey and solid athleticism, so it can perform and excel at the tasks that we expect it to do. I want our dogs to be very traditional in the nature of what the game-bred American Pitbull Terrier was historically bred to do, which is to work and to go towards opposition without any concern for self-preservation. This is what gameness means. It means to continue the task in spite of stress. That's basically what it means in summary. So I've kind of added two attributes that exist already in the American Pitbull Terrier as a breed, but they don't exist all the time. So we have selected our American Pitbull Terriers from the original old school game-bred American Pitbull Terriers that were already in this country that displayed the traits that I was looking for, not just any American Pitbull Terrier. So what do I mean by displayed the traits that we're looking for? Well, the average American Pitbull Terrier may range from anywhere from 25 to 30 pounds on the small end, possibly to as large as 60 or even 70, and sometimes more than that, pounds on the high end. And I like a catch weight dog, so we're going to try to stay away from the smaller dogs, and we're going to avoid those 30 and 40 pound females, and I'm going to avoid those 35 and 45 pound males for the most part. I don't like the smaller dogs because I'm using these dogs for protection work and hog catch, and they need to control a much larger adversary. So I'm going to be on the larger end of that spectrum and seek my females to be a very minimum of 40 pounds, preferably a minimum of 45. We have a few females that are 50 pounds and even more, but that's not real popular in the American Pitbull Terrier as a breed in general. Not uncommon here though. All right, and then as far as the males, the breed as a whole population, you'll find males anywhere from 35 pounds to maybe 50 pounds, and sometimes a little larger than that, than I've said before. But we try to add or stay, I should say, on the larger end of the spectrum, and our males are typically going to be on the small end 50 pounds, and on the larger end maybe as much as 70 pounds. So again, we've kind of shifted that size to stay on that larger end of that bell-shaped population distribution, which is a bell-shaped curve. It's hard to do because my elbows to wrist are straight, but it's just a curve that goes like this a population distribution. You can look up population distribution on the internet and you'll see a bell-shaped curve. Well, what we've done is we stayed at the higher end. Now I'm looking at my right, which is your left, unless I flip the video. So I'm going to stay on that high end, which is basically 10 to 20 pounds bigger than what you're going to see on the smaller end on average. So that's one of the things that I look for in our American Pit Bull Terriers. Another thing that I look for in our American Pit Bull Terriers is a little bit more loyalty than what you see, generally speaking, in the breed as a whole. Now, what I mean by that is there's a lot of American Pit Bull Terriers that really love anybody and everybody. They'll be glad to jump into the car of a stranger and go home with them and lick their face on the drive while they stole the TV. That's just the way a lot of pit bulls are going to be. Now, then you also have the other end of the spectrum, which is a nervous, insecure dog that doesn't like anybody. It's kind of nervous and hiding in the back. I don't like those either. What I'm looking for in our American Pit Bull Terrier is a dog that's very high confidence, high prey drive, but does have some recognition. I'm not going to call it aloofness because I don't want an aloof game dog, okay? But some recognition of suspicious behavior when a person is acting suspiciously or aloof. I want my dog to alert and at least be aware that something here is funny, and that will be, generally speaking, all that protective instinct that I need from a game dog. Because with proper training, if you have high prey drive, a good game bred dog with some recognition of suspicious behavior, then you're going to be able to train that dog for whatever task that you need to do. At least that's been my experience. The primary bloodlines that we deal with are sorrels. Okay, now we have some Patrick blood, which is very similar to sorrels, but we don't have a lot of it. Only a little bit of it's coming in our program. We have some Greenwood blood, which is also very similar to sorrels, coming into our program. The biggest outcross that we have in our game bred dogs is going to be the Red Boy Jocko, which I was going to say Bolio, which is Patrick, and Tombstone, which is Patrick. So the Red Boy Jocko is going to be the biggest outcross that we have in any of our game dogs, and you're going to have to look pretty close to find that because it's not in all of our dogs, it's just in some. But that reason that's the case is because Mayday was Red Boy Jocko Bolio Tombstone bred dog, and Mayday was a larger dog that displayed a lot of the traits that we're looking for, as well as Sorrel's Pokey, and we have a lot of Sorrel's dogs that have Pokey in the pedigree. So that's a summary of our game dogs. In my opinion, a good game dog is kind of like a good spouse. They're friendly, but not too friendly. So, you know, they're not going to just load up and go home with a stranger. Now, with that said, let's talk about our American Sentinel K9 program. This part of the video will be posted on our American Sentinel page as well. So, for our American Sentinels, our number one goal is family, companion, guardian. That is what our dogs are bred to do. So why do we do the hog catch work? We do the hog catch work because I want to make sure that our dogs are not just big huff and puff and bluff dogs that are going to just bluff when they get exhausted. I need a dog that's going to physically be capable of going out and performing. So if a client or myself or my wife or my daughter goes on a jog and they've been jogging for 5 kilometers and maybe it's 90 degrees out and then they get attacked, I don't want anybody in my family to be mugged or a victim of some sort of violent crime and the dog be too tired to engage after the workout. So that dog needs to be capable of performing, whether it's fresh or if it's been working. And if you go find you 110 to 130, 140 pound dog, which all sounds cool in the home and the protective instinct, you know, the bigger the better, right? No, that's not the case. Those dogs are going to be looking for the shade tree or the creek, and they're going to be done. Okay, when you have that much body mass to a limited surface area, those animals are going to accumulate heat, and when those animals are exhausted, they're done. So our dogs, our band dogs, are not as big as some of the other band dog programs, but our dogs are going to smoke them when it comes to performance. Our dogs can work whether it be 0 degrees out, and they can work when it's 90 and even above. So they can work in many different environments, and they can work for a long period of time. And this is one of the aspects of the hog hunting that allows us to test that physical nature of those dogs. This is also one of the reasons why we have so much game dog in our band dog program, is because that breeds into the dogs a higher degree of physical performance. I've worked dogs as small as 35 pounds, in some cases even smaller, but it's just for humor in my opinion when it's that small, because a small dog's not going to be able to provide protection. And I've worked dogs that were over 135 pounds. So 35 or 135. And I'm going to tell you, the best dogs I've ever worked have been in that 65 to 100-pound range. Those dogs, if you have a solid, even a 60-pound dog, a solid 60-pound dog, a man is not going to stop it. And people that say that they will, they're people that don't do protection work. You have a solid 60-pound dog that's really high drive, fast and intense. And if that man does not have a weapon, he's going to have a very difficult time subduing that dog. So for our band dogs to range anywhere from 70 to 100 pounds is more than sufficient. Our females are going to tend to be 70 to 90, and our males are going to tend to be on the small end 80 pounds, on the high end maybe 110. I really don't like to get over the 100-pound mark though. All right, so that is the purpose of this video. I hope you've enjoyed this video and you see what we're about. We have been around since the year 2000. I have a master's degree in animal sciences. I'm certified in artificial insemination. I worked at the Cincinnati zoos, the conservation of research of endangered wildlife for a while. Genetics is something I taught for 26 years. Biology is something I taught for 25 years at both the high school, secondary education, and also at the collegiate level. This is what I do. It's what I enjoy to do. I've retired from teaching, and now this is what I do full time. If you have any questions after checking out our website, by all means, feel free to reach out to me and we'll be glad to answer them. Y'all have a blessed day and take care.